Good evening. Welcome to TTC, Artemis Tier, round 10 at Canada. A tricky track, known for its weather, known for its crashes, but we're looking pretty good. Looking at blue sky, from what I can see so far. But I'm expecting some carnage, expecting some crashes. Track limits as well, also being a huge factor into this. I'm expecting to see some penalties for sure. Everyone's out early. There we go. Audio sounding okay. We're all good. Expecting not to be biased or anything, but the AMS guys to do very well. EVR as well, of course. But I think Nardo and Knight, they have some pretty good pace. I'm expecting a low 8 or a high 7, I think, for pole. Given that it is completely dry. We'll stay on board with the Knight for the first lap. Takes the Wall of Champions. ERS on into turn 1. Takes it nicely. Good minimum speed. Doesn't choose to take second gear. Stays in third for the minimum speed. Does he make the cut nicely? He does. Yeah, 19-0, first lap. First sector. Okay, minimum speed. Could have been more committed, but pretty good all the same. It's coming up to some traffic now, though. Gets it flicked in nicely. On the power as early as you dare. Try not to pick up a toe. And don't invalidate and throw it all away, which he doesn't. Bit late on the ERS there, mate, but all good. Yeah, comes across the line with an 8-8. But he's invalidated, of course. I didn't even spot it. I'm blind. Suneb with provisional pole for 9-2. Very nice. Jacob. Who else is on a lap? Nardu. Yeah, Jacob with a 0.5 is very quick. Doesn't invalidate. Comes across the line, 0.7. On board with Flipper then. 3 drivers into the 0.8s already. Looking quick. Hits the wall a touch. Comes across to a 0.3, not bad. I'd say a solid banker for here is a low 9. That's solid enough. You can build on that, but yeah, the guys in the 0.8s already is they're flying. Cutter on a lap, yes he is. We'll stay on board for him. Good curb usage there, good minimum speed. Plenty of battery to go. Ooh, had a tricky time getting that stop there, but that's fine. Slams the traction. Evening Lagos. It's your only good track? That is surprising, mate. That is weird. Not gonna lie. This is usually everyone's bogey track. A 7.9? Yeah, that's rapid, mate. That's flying. I believe you're NA as well, yeah? If that's the case with the 7.9, that's absolutely rapid, mate. Nice, back out again. For his second lap. Looking to get a time on the boards. Evening, Grumpy. Yuri's driving, but he's not in the lineup. Oh dear. Alright, on board with Knight then for another lap. Hopefully he doesn't invalidate. Into turn 1. I'm surprised he didn't invalidate there, that was close. Hard on the traction. And absolutely send it over these corners. He's invalidated again. And hit the wall. Okay. Dial it back, mate. You got the pace. Just needs to dial it back. Send a lap. Get it valid. Get it on the board. On board then with Loco. Yep. Alexa, take the second gear. I personally found that second gear gave you a nice bit of rotation. Straight into third for the traction. And fly over these corners. (7.9) in a real session, you do a 10.8. Yeah, fair. I can sympathise. This one's so hard to get a proper lap on the boards, as you can tell by Knight. So many track limits. But you've got to be committed, otherwise, what's the point of turning up? Oh, lovely bit of grass usage. Oh. Very tricky braking zone. Hits the apex. On power, a little wiggle, but that's fine. Nice. To get the lineup in front of me, I keep forgetting who's in which team. Comes across the line there for Loco, picking up a slight... Okay. Not sure I like that toe. That was highly intentional. Interesting. Okay. The Red Bull there. Is Knight on a lap? He is. Coming up to finish the lap. It's still valid. He's into the pits. At the speed of light. Never mind. Geekin coming to finish a lap. A 10-0. Okay. Got some time to find. You have the PS World Record on Canada. F124 for 4 months. That's pretty good going, mate. That's, again, I'm surprised. Canada is not a typical track. Let's go on board with JD Berg then. The driver we know has good quali pace. Very aggressive on the steering, as you can see. Hopefully not going to get impeded by the car ahead. Fucking hell, his steering, but so aggressive on the flick. And then gets out of the way there. Jacob across the line with a 0.3. That's a tidy lap. And he spun. Okay. Yeah, top guys looking pretty handy. What can Z6 do then? Pretty tidy. Final chicane. A 0.6. Interesting. Interesting. Knight all the way down there. Come on. I don't want to be biased, but come on. Yuri aborting turn 1. Well, he's coming up to finish a lap here with a slight toe. Nothing too bad. Not worth reporting. How does he take... Oh. Yeah, he's invalidated that. Not sure what he's up to, Lagos. But anyway, on board with Knight then. Full AMS bias for this lap because he needs to get a time on the board. He's running out of time. Take it nice and safe, mate. A guy with this pace can easily get into the 8s. Just needs to put a clean lap on the board. Into turn 1 then. Yeah, Alexa takes second this time. Nice. Ooh. Bit of oversteer. Takes it in 5th. Nice. Ooh, it's not bad. Bit safe. I was doing 0.7s, low 0.7s before this session. But we thought Nardo and Knight would be a better fit for the track. Let's see what the XTF10 driver can do then. Decent exit, loads of battery. Using it all up on the straight. Wall of Champions then. Chucks it in. Oh, slams the wall. But what's it going to be? A 0.7. Tidy enough. We can work with that. Not bad. Got her across the line then. 10th and a bit up. A 0.8. Tidy lap. Flippers into the pits. And Loco's on an outlap. Not sure. Double outlap maybe. Ah, fair play, Lagos. Yeah, can't drive while you're sick. Seems everyone's sick at the moment. Jacob 4/10 off and clear by 3. Really? Yeah, I believe Nardo can get into the 7s. I think his PB's in the 7s. So yeah, a bit of time to find for the drivers, I think. Obviously, doing it in practice and doing it in session at Canada's a very different thing. Yeah, he's into the pits. Gotto's just finished a lap, hasn't he? So a little bit of a lull before we see our final laps of qualifying. Jacob on pole at the moment, but I think Nardo, Polly as well, all very quick drivers. I think we could see a shake-up for pole. Yuri yet to find a time on the board. Kane as well on the outlap. We'll go on with JD Berg. The wheel flicker himself. I believe JD can put a second on that time, he was telling me, unless he was talking out of his arse. I'm fairly sure you can go a second quicker than that. But as I've been saying on stream, doing a lap of Canada is a very different thing. Is he alright? Has he put the wrong tyres on? Alright. On with Kane. See what he can do. He's currently got an 8.8 on the board. Not too bad. Not slow at all. Yeah, Lagos, it's a tricky track. Yeah, Lex third. Good minimum speed. Good exit. Yeah, Kane's, that traffic is coming up quick and heavy. Let's see. Gets the hardest traction zone, in my opinion, out of the way pretty nicely. Traffic ahead has a nice straight. Oh, clunks over the curbs. That wasn't smooth. Might have been quick. Second gear, hits the apex nicely. On the power, bit of wheel spin, but that's all fine. One more straight then. With a tiny bit of a sniffer slipstream. Cool, I thought he was going to invalidate there. Pretty tidy. Comes across the line then. Pole position, 0.3, very nice. Tidy lap. What can Jacob do? Is JD still a Q merchant? He's taken a few months off the game for a bit, so he used to be very much so, and he's backed out of that. And yeah, he's not quite on the pace. This is an invalid lap. I'm on with Nardo. Yuri a 9.6. Yeah, cold, mate. Is he backed off as well? Everyone's backing off the laps. Leox and Levy then. Picking up a toe. Oh dear. That's a pretty heavy block there. The Williams driver and the Alpine driver. Less than ideal. On with board with Knight then. A driver who I think does have pole in him. Has had a bit of a shaky qualifying. As Geekin's been disqualified. Interesting. So Nardo doesn't improve there. Slams the wall again. Across the line for a 0.4. P3. Tidy. Tidy. Gotto with a 0.5. Very nice from him. Is that it? Are we... Nope. No, is he backed off as well? Jacob across the line with a 0.3 for pole position. Looks like an EVR 1-2 AMS third. Anyone else comes into the pits? He's backed off. Flipper across the line for a 0.4. And I believe that's qualifying. Yeah, so EVR 1-2. It's going to be tricky at Canada, but I think it's all to play for with the strats. 1 stop, 2 stop. Who's straight lining them into turn 1? That is the question. What did Yuri say, Lagos? Yeah, I can sympathise with that. Interested to know about geeking and the disqualification there. Drivers will be readying up in 2 minutes. And I shall see you then. Enjoy a bit of music. Okay. 5 red lights, and it's lights out and away we go. Oh, the EVR guys gets away pretty well. Knight up the inside of Kane. As HRT Mirko has fallen back. Oh my god, as Kane clatters the wall. Has to concede. Back up the inside of Knight. Clatters into Knight. Both leaving as much space as possible in a tricky traction zone. Not bad, as Rapper has fallen down from pretty much the top 10 all the way down. In the early stages, down the inside of JD Berg as they come together. There you go, tyres. All on the mediums. It's a mediums fest. Sound. Can you hear the sound okay? Is the actual game sound coming through though? Interesting. Let me fix that. Interesting. There we go. Let me just fix it from my end, and then I shall carry on with the commentary. Still hear it now, yeah? Yeah. Sweet. We are fixed. Sorry for that. Technical issue. Anyway, back on with the race. How are we looking? We have a yellow flag. And Yuri is dropping down the order. And he's stopped. And is that a safety car? Yeah, sorry about the audio there, guys. You want AMSCRS? Why not? There you go. Both VVR drivers are, yeah, full battery. So I'm assuming, yeah, BSC. Looked a bit dodge from Yuri there. Just sort of chilled until it came out. Yeah. It's alright, Fozzie. So the race is neutralised until the end of the VSC. Let's see who gets the jump. Let's see. Yuri pits. Loco with the drive-through. Falling down the order as well. Maybe he's tried to concede the time to not get the drive-through, but has it all the same. Less than ideal for the RB driver. Nardo following very closely. Up the back of VVR pair. Knight as well. Led by Jacob. Yuri onto a set of hards then. Yeah. I'm not sure about that one. It looks a bit sus to me. Everyone just taking it easy. Jesus, this Knight takes, oh my god, a very wide line. And is under attack now by Gotto. Geeking with a 3-sec already. Oh, a bit of contact there between the two. As Knight holds the position. Tricky driving. I don't think he's bad, Karakima. He's looking a bit rusty. I think the pace is there. As JD Berg and Trickshot swap positions. Yuri with the 3-sec. I don't think it's going the HRT driver's way at all. Flipper just out of DRS. If he can get a good chicane, he might be able to get back in, which he doesn't. No, I think he's just dropping and disconnecting the train. I think Nardo qualified out of position. I think Nardo was the quicker of the two here. But yeah, he's just out of DRS here. Kane with a swirly exit. Nardo on battery. Will he make a move into turn 1? Oh, tricky, tricky. It's a very hard spot to overtake, to be fair. I think a little bit of battle in and Knight will be back in DRS, which I think he'll need. Got a yellow flag. And Rafa is falling down the order and is doing donuts in Montreal. And I reset to track. Okay. Lovely. interesting standards at the latter part of the grid here. Resets, intentional VSCs, you got it all. On board with Polymassey then. Left with 15 seconds worth of track limits. Yeah, I suspect we will see a lot of 2-stops. For the VSC actually, I personally would go for a 1-stop. I just like to, you know, look after those tyres as VMB Lucas gets a 3-second. That won't be the last one. As a swap of position for Knight and Gotto. Gotto has overtaken AMS Knight. Both fairly low battery. It's, top 3. Very close. All extremely similar battery, basically the same battery. I think these 3 are just going to be in it. Nardo, tricky for traction there, mate. BMB Lucas has dropped back 1.8 seconds with a penalty. Yeah, just the 3 seconds. I can't remember who it was, the RB that had the drive-through has already served it. Geeking with another 3 sec. Polymassey and Neb going at it. Go on, Neb. Go on, lads. Has DRS as well. Both burning battery. He's burning everything. Knight is back in DRS as AMS Nardo pits, presumably to undercut both EVR drivers. Goes onto a set of hards. Gotto is just outside the DRS of the 2 EVR drivers who I presume will pit. Gaps here are, yeah, a second apiece. There or thereabouts. We have more boxes onto the sets of hards. The undercut has been well and truly pulled. The EVR drivers, unless they're doing a 1-stop wall, will box. Further back then, JD Berg having a little bit of a lonely session. 4 seconds clear of P8. But let's see what the undercut does for Nardu. It's not burning as much as I thought. I think he's letting those tyres, those hard tyres, just use the pace. It's going to be a painful one for EVR. Yeah, I mean, that's the trouble, isn't it? Having drivers so close in pace. One has to box, one can't. I mean, really, one of the drivers should box that lap. As Jacob comes in and Kane carries on. Well, let's see where Jacob comes out. As Trickshot gets 10 seconds spinning in the pits. Less than ideal. You've only got the whole straight to slow down there, mate. Yeah, Jacob did have a good pace. He's undercut the EVR driver. Let's see if he stays in DRS range. Slams into the wall for good measure. Loco another 3 seconds. He's out of DRS at the moment. Let's see if he gets a good chicane. I think these drivers are taking the track limits very, very cautiously. And Nardo's holding out of DRS. We won't get DRS from JD Berg, but may get held up. No DRS for Nardu. And Jacob has used pretty much all his battery as JD Berg comes in. Nardu with the fastest lap. Let's see where Kane comes out then. Yeah, he's been dropped. Ouch, that is painful for Kane. He's now behind Gotto and Polly. Nardu and Jacob. It's going to be a tough go of it as there's a safety car. Why is there a safety car? Why is there a safety car then? Do tell me why. Interesting. I'd like to know why there's a safety car. It does make it pretty interesting for strategies. Pretty much everyone had boxed. I would love to know why though. Cannot go to the end on a set of hards from here, so regardless of anything, we will have another pit stop phase. I think personally I can get to the end from lap 14 on a set of hards. As Lucas serves his penalty, and Mirko gets a drive-through, speeding under safety car. GG mate, HRT. Interesting. As Yuri doesn't have a front wing, so I suspect that's what caused the safety car. No idea how. The floor of that car looking filthy. So Mirko still has the drive-through to serve. He just boxed. And can't serve that drive-through under the safety car, apparently. So he's lost track position to, I presume, to serve it, and hasn't been able to. Trick shot with a 13 seconds worth of penalties, interesting, and Knight with the 3 second, but I suspect there's going to be a fair few track limits by the end of this. Can I look at the race director? I can. Quite a lot of track limits going on already, and we've not had the race on for too long. Yeah, Knight, that looks like a genuine one. Painful. So the safety car will probably be in by the end of next lap. So, yeah. Looks a bit intentional, doesn't it, Fozzie? Did have a front wing to change, and a pit stop, so... Yeah, I'm not too impressed by Yuri's antics this evening. Not impressed. Yeah, I'd agree, Grumpy. I would get rid of that 10 sec. That's just sending you right to the back. What do you mean, Webby? Ferrari, I mean, they're both pretty near the back. Do you think they're just going to stay out and cause carnage, or what's the angle there? Yeah, I believe so, Legos. Yuri didn't have a front wing. I didn't see it happen. So it's, yeah, a VSC and a safety car, I think. Caused by Mr. Yuri. Ex-AMS driver? Yuri? Why do I know him? Oh, they're Orax. This will get a bit spicy though. You got Kane, Polly and Gotto, which has helped Kane a little bit. It is tightened it up. However, you're not making it to the end. Not from here. There's a safety car's coming in this lap. With a lot of tyre saving, you can go from 14 with fresh hards. Lucas may, but I doubt it. Anyway, onto the safety car restart. Will Nardu go after the Wall of Champions or before? If it was me personally, I'd go after, so I don't have the run. So Jacob puts it in medium now. And Nardu has pulled the pin, and off he goes. And has a pretty good gap. I don't think Jacob was caught napping at all there, just decent safety car restarts. Yuri gets a 3-second penalty on the safety car restart. From the back. His Neb is very close. He was anyway. Kane also. His back is very tight. So just swaps positions near the back. Geeking Lucas, lots of 3-second penalties flying now. As people are trying to warm up those hards over the chicanes and not finding the traction. Never's got hands. I didn't expect him to be there. So Flipper is nearly out of DRS of trick shot here. With no battery, I think he's struggling on pace. Older of the hard tyres, but not by much. Same age as Nardu. His DRS has been enabled. He's about to fall out of DRS, which he has. As the he outbrakes Geek in that. As Geekin is either been murdered or lost it at turn 1. Mirko pits again. Interesting. Anyway, back on with the leaders. Getting very close to Nardu there on the brakes. Outbraked him by about 2/10 there. Very interesting. Will he do the same again? Yeah, Jacob's got a lot of confidence under the braking there. As he opens ERS, now DRS, goes for the move for the lead. And takes P1 with a 1 lap tyre advantage to Nardo. Very close, he's top 5. Another 3 seconds for PTI Iolo. And Yuri again. Christ, man. Yeah, 3 seconds, 9 seconds at back there, not ideal. There's Knight struggling for battery here. Oh. Right, okay. That isn't ideal. I believe he's lost his wing and he's pulling over. Yeah, not gone Knight's way today. I do believe he doesn't have a front wing. Not ideal for the aimless driver. All you can do now is box, go to the end, on a fresh set of hards, the new front wing, and break for a safety car. Ollie just sticking in there with the leaders then. And Gotto. Good pace from those two. Slams over the corner there. And the train has been broken. From P7 downwards to the leaders. The Alpine driver, as Knight gets a speeding in the pit and has retired from the session. So unfortunate finish there, mate. Geeking has retired. pits and has left the session, yeah. And they both left the session. That isn't ideal. Anyway, back on with the race then. As Flipper gets ahead of Yuri, who then comes back at him, Flippers off onto the grass. And it's Rafa all over Yuri. That holds back. Oh my, so Yuri gets a massive slide out of the chicane. Wow. As Yuri loses it under braking. I don't know what happened there, but okay. Interesting, as PCR Yellow gets ahead of Leops, presumably with a bit more pace to maybe reconnect the front train, as Gotto is just out of DRS, comes back in again. It's an interesting pace difference in this top 5, even top 6, as Yuri has DNF'd. Is that in the pits? That is in the pits. Yuri has retired. His reign of terror has come to an end. Goodbye, Yuri. Jacob burning the battery down to 30%. Nardo very, very similar battery with the DRS. With a 1 lap tyre delta between the two. Polly holding in just as well. Gotto with another 3 seconds. JD Berg and Loco going at it down the straight. Gets the move done. Be interesting to see when people box. I mean, we've got tyre lives up and down the grid that are different. I think we'll expect to see quite a few undercuts and a change of positions. How's Kane getting on? Without the penalty. Got up ahead, one of the leading guys with a penalty. Quite low on battery has Kane. Gap to leader. There you go. Don't know, I'm helping EVR engineer, but there you go. Non-biased commentator this evening. The battery levels are very low. Kane there. Extremely close between these top 6. All in that train. And I suspect some of the slower drivers are being pulled along in this train, but to be fair to them, they do have pretty good battery levels compared to some of the quicker runners like Kane, like Nardu, like Jacob. Although Nardu has a significant battery advantage. I wouldn't be surprised if he went for a move here. Within the next 2 DRS straights. A little slide, maybe in the dirty area. Yeah, Kane's ERS management could be worked on. I think we're all guilty of that sometimes when the pace isn't quite where we want it to be. You sort of rely on the battery and use it all. So Nardo pushing in with a nearly full battery. Yeah, I would as well. Karakima straight away. You'll easily make it to the end, so I don't know why they wouldn't. If I was Nardu, if I was on the phone to him, I'd be telling him to box. Box frock, box frock. Yeah, Peter, you're right, but undercut. Ah, I thought he was going in. As Kane is nearly out of DRS, but he does come into the box to reclaim that undercut that he felt foul of earlier. Be interesting to see where he comes out. I would imagine he will jump Gotto and Polly. And as Trickshot retires in the pits, the Aston Martin, yep. Gotto all over the back of Polly. Yeah, it's a good move, I'd say, from Kane. The front leaders will certainly react to that. You can't stay out any more than otherwise you're just getting undercut, sorry. Nearly out of DRS. Struggling a bit with the battery. Yeah, Jacob will box. I would suspect Nardu and Jacob will both come in. Almost certainly. Yeah, so Nardu's not boxing because he wants that full battery as he comes in. Jacob has 30% battery. Nardu stays out. Interesting. So what I think Nardu's going to do now is absolutely send all of the pace. He had a ton of battery to use, and will send and then box. Gata leader, here you go. Nardu has to overtake 3 cars. Yeah, I mean, overtakes are tricky at this track. Well, on any track really in this game, but this will be a tough one. Be interested to see where he comes out, as the 2 EVR drivers now are interestingly split by a Ferrari. And gets past the back marker with the 14 lap hole tyres. Gotto as well. I'll be interested to see if that affected their undercut at all on Nardu. I will be interested to see. As Nardu pits, and let's see how he comes out. Will the EVR drivers be 1-2 again? Let's see. Nardu coming out. Behind Gotto. He does. He's been undercut. Less than ideal from the AMS driver. The 1 lap tyre advantage to the field, but yeah, to take 2 positions is less than ideal for a 1 lap tyre advantage. Yeah, fair play to Gotto. He's doing really well. To be in the mix here is really impressive. Anyone ahead now is getting undercut to fuck. As Jacob is actually coming up to the back of Raphael here. Yeah, he is carrying him, yeah. Being a bit unfair. As Kane gets a 3-second penalty for track limits. Very interesting. Jacob with the fastest lap of the race is being now held up by back markers. Interesting. Someone did call a Ferrari causing carnage, and we have it here today. Oh, as Jesus Christ. Raphael nearly loses the car. Jacob flies past. Kane also is now going wheel to wheel with the back marker. Christ, Zanardo really needs to get past this car ASAP, which he does. It's been an interesting finish with the penalties as well. I think the guys up ahead are just goal hanging really for a safety car, which may happen. There's a fair bit of carnage going on. There's some movement up ahead. Jacob gets past the Ferrari. 13 lap old, nearly 14 lap old tyres. The Haas boxes. And the pack is reformed with a Ferrari in the middle. Will Gotto and Nardo be able to get past the Ferrari and stay within DRS? I'm not sure. This is a really hard section to overtake in. We're now being held up They are. As Gotto goes past, Nardo sets up the switchback but is blocked. And yeah, can't defend with those old tyres. However, Gotto is 1.1 seconds out of DRS of Kane, the EVR driver, who is now sending his battery. JD Berg is now getting in the mix. It's all firing off. And everyone's back in DRS with a JD Berg in the middle. Jacob gets past the back marker. Is that rain? That's rain. It's raining. Nardo with a 3-second penalty. Wow, all of the leaders have penalties apart from Jacob now. This is going to work very well for Z6 Neb. Z6, didn't he goal hang for a safety car in Vegas? And got a very good position. It goes dry again. Well, depends how wet it goes really. Do they need to box? That's the question. Gotto gets past Loco there. Bit of contact. Nardo's ahead of Gotto. I must have missed that overtake in the skirmish there. But when will the inter-tyres be needed if needed at all? Kane now out of DRS. Does he get it? He does get DRS. Jacob's absolutely sending it to get past Z6 here, which he does. Kane is now going to be stuck behind 18 lap old hard tyres. Will he get past here? Any battery? Yep. No DRS. Kane is using all the battery. Send it down the inside and he closes the door nicely. Fair play. On traction then. Flipper in the pits. Kane is being held up. Nardo right up the rear. As Nardo likes to hit the frock. As Kane goes down the inside. Do they leave space? They come together and it's all a bit messy. Oh no. I suspect there's a bit of rain coming at play here as well. Oh dear. It's all coming together. There's Polly and Jacob run away with it. What's happened to Kane? Why did he pull over? Was that Kane or Loca pulling over? I'm not sure. Zanardo has got ahead of Z6 and Gotto is now trying the same. They both have DRS. Down the inside. Do they come into the box with a pair of inters? They... Oh my god. Some do, some don't. As Neb puts on a pair of inters. And Jacob. Polly and Gotto have stayed out. I don't think that was the right call, lads. Good luck. But Neb has played a blinder here. He's on a fresh pair of boots. He's in P3. I'd say he's a net P1, by far. Fair play to him. Everyone's sliding around like an ice rink. Jacob on the fresh pair of boots into the wall, ever so slightly, as the positions have completely been jumbled. 4.5 seconds then, as HRT Mirko's retired in pits. Yes, it's a double HRT DNF there. His DRS has been disabled, so I think the guys on inters now have made the right call. Absolutely. Gotto, yeah, fair play. You had a cracking first half, but this will now fall away from you now. Yeah, it's a good question. As they do now come into the box. It's absolutely that time. It was that time a lap ago. But Neb has played an absolute blinder here. Goal hang for the safety car or rain. Whichever came first and has capitalised on it. Polly in the pits. Jacob goes through to take P2. Raphael with 3 seconds. Interested to see the penalties now, as there are quite a few flying around. The top 2 then without penalties. That could play a huge factor depending on pace. Nardu 3.7 seconds behind, 3.6. Everything's all petered out a bit. In the pit stop phase, Kane behind Loco. Both with 3-second penalties. Just moving back behind, as there is a lot more action going on at the back. Will any moves be made into the chicane? No, they keep it nice and tidy. Lots of battery at play here. Not much for a PTR. Any moves under the braking? No. Or slams into the back of the Williams of JD Berg. How's JD Berg looking at battery? Basically the same. A little bit more for Leox. Will he make the move? He's got a much lower wing and makes that easy. Gets it stopped in time for the chicane as well. Lovely stuff. Yeah, JD Berg's struggling, I think. Kane is half a second behind Loco. Again, the battery is not being well managed, I would say. Definitely a quicker driver behind Loco. He should be charging it up and absolutely blasting 100% of the battery to make the move. As we go back on board now with JD Berg. Goes a little wide. As these two come together. PTR has made it well past JD Berg. Spano goes in. JD Berg went off. Yeah, good question, Cormac. He goal hanged for a safety car or rain and capitalised on it. Yeah, JD Berg now struggling. How we doing with Kane? Yeah, low on battery. Not enough, man. You need to save. You are too close to be using that much battery. As Leox gets another penalty. Let's have another check-in on the penalties. Yeah, Gotto 6 seconds behind Kane. 3 seconds Loco. Nardu, importantly, will lose the podium there or thereabouts. Depends on Zegzig's paces. They're slamming into the wall now. Will Zegzig be able to close 3 seconds? Get under that 3-second mark for Nardu's penalty. Decent bit of battery there. Battery for Loco. Kane is just, yeah, using it in all the wrong places, in my opinion. Good under brakes, but yeah, you need more battery, man. And I doubt he'll make the move stick. I mean, it looks like Loco's got some pretty low wings as well. Yes, it's never happening, is it? Z6 now dropping back from Nardu out of that 3-second gap. So Nardu's holding on to P3 right now. As Gotto and Kane are now at it. Gotto is going at Kane, capitalising on the mismanaged battery. Gotto's showing really good pace this race. Of these three will come out. Are they on the same penalties? I believe one of them has a 6 sec. It is Gotto with the 6 sec. So he's looking to get ahead as quickly as possible and gap those cars behind. Nardu closing in on Jacob at a rate of knots. Will any positions be made as Kane outbrakes himself? because we're all trying to find the traction on the wet track. This Loco has 20% more battery, which is never going to happen, is it? Gotto with 10% more. Let's see if any moves are made into turn 1. Anything under the brakes? No. As Nardo is now half a second behind Jacob. He has caught up significantly. What is wrong with Jacob? Maybe a too low wings? I know for a fact Nardo has wings on the higher side for this track. Higher than what I would run, so this is interesting. Damage? Maybe. Wing differences do make a huge difference. You know how quick these guys are. Jacob with a really good exit there. As Gotto and Kane are going at it. Yeah, Cormac, I'm very familiar with your wings, having gone head to head with those. It's a pain in the arse. As Gotto now makes the move on Kane. He has battery, leaves the space. Kane goes a bit deep. Will Gotto make the switchback work? He's all under pressure, going it down into turn 1. Gotto down the inside. They leave the space, they slight contact. Kane on the better line, has the traction, has the line. Retains the position. Back to Nardo and Jacob then. Jacob with 50% battery, Nardo with just under, well, now 70. Gotto and Kane again. I think that's all fair. It's Kane very struggling for traction now. I think it's the low wing issue. Yeah, Cormac, it's me, Callum, Amos. Yeah, very tricky there. Yeah, he's held on pretty well with the low wings. As Leox and PTR are nearly in the wall there. As Raphael into the wall. Into the wall again. Yeah, there's lots of traction there. Not sure what's happening. Lost his head, lost his tyres. Illegal overtake there for JD Berg, that's unfortunate. And he's carried on, despite presumable wing damage, and JD Berg gets another wing penalty. Track limit penalty, rather. As PTR Yellow is retired in the pits. JD Berg then. And Raphael, right at the back, battling for P12, P13. Appreciate that, Grumpy. Some braking zones have been missed. Yeah, I think JD Berg's got a little bit of damage. I think his wings are high as well. I noticed at the start of the race he was getting absolutely taken down on the straights. Set back to Nardu, who has depleted his battery, and so has Jacob, to come across the line. Neb P1 takes his win in TTC Artemis Tier at Canada. EVR P2 Z6 did actually get inside Nardu's 3 seconds at the end there, which is impressive. I believe Nardu was held up trying to overtake Jacob, and yeah, Z6 was able to get inside his 3 seconds to take the podium, so fair play to him. Nardu will come home P4, Polly P5, Loco P6, Kane unfortunately comes in P7, VMV Lucas P8, Gotto P9. An interesting race. Full of drama, full of rain. Fair play to Neb. Deserves that. Gambled and it paid off. It doesn't always work. I've done that myself. As your race winner's Neb. Fastest lap goes to Jacob. Driver of the day to Loco. Most overtakes again to Loco. And cleanest driver is Z6. So yeah, fair play to him. And your finishing grids. I was up to P9. Gotto comes home for P9. Vano P10. Leox P11. JD Berg comes home P12. P13 for Rafael. 14th for Flipper. And where are the DNFs? Here we are. And yeah, finally, PTR. Yola comes home P15. And I'll take a couple screenshots. I'll try and get the race director as well, if anyone needs it. Wow. That's a list. Will I scroll in time? Yeah. Just about. Oh my god, very good. And your strategies. Okay, yep. Thank you very much for watching, guys. This is AMS Callum commentating. And yeah.